You want to blow it in one more time, low key, not too loud.
Yeah. Want me to do it afterwards?
While we online, man.
Sure? Yeah, go ahead. Want me to do it loud?
Not too loud. You know what I'm saying? Happy new moon to my family online. We're gonna go ahead and blow it in. Yeah. All praise the Most High, man. All praise the Most High. So, this is our another new moon festival. Calvert, what marks the new year? What season? The spring. Are we officially in spring? No, we not. Right. So this is not a new year. All right. Family is online. Roger did a phenomenal video. I suggest everyone go check it out. In terms of how to calculate the feast days. I know a lot of people believe after the month of Adar, it's a new year. No, what marks the new year is spring. All right, spring is the measure and the marker we use for new year. If it's not officially spring yet, it's not a new year. All right, it's just that simple. But let's go ahead and get the scriptures to prove that, and then we can go into the lesson. Give me you know what I want, Mosh. Give me Exodus chapter 13. I just want to prove it through the Spirit. You know what marks a new year. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people think after the end of Adar, it's a new year. That's technically not true. What marks a new year is spring or Bib, which is translated in the scriptures as spring. Let's go ahead and get this precept. Yeet, yeet. Yeah, you can start from the top. Exodus chapter 13, verse 1.
Exodus chapter 13 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of men and of beasts, it is mine.
Absolutely, because you know the Lord passed over and killed all the firstborns of the Egyptians. So as a repercussion or as a reward for that, you know, delivering us out of the hands of the Egyptians, the Lord said, all your firstborn belong to me, right? Keep reading.
And Moshe said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There should no leavened bread be eaten. This day came ye out of the month of Abib.
A month of what?
Abib.
When you look that word up in the Hebrew, it literally means green ears, right? So for those that's online that's watching right now, go to your local gardener and ask them, when do the green ears of the corn begin to grow? We're going to tell you spring. All right, so that's our marker. That's the marker we use to determine our new year, right? That's the new year, right? Drop down to verse 10.
Verse 10.
Shalom, family online.
Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season.
In his what?
In his season.
See, people forget that's a very, very important prerequisite in the proper season for us to keep these feasts. All right. The Most High made these ordinances for its season, right? All right. But y'all can go and watch Roger lesson. He did a phenomenal job. I'm not going to go into that. I just wanted to let y'all know it has to be in the proper season. All right. If it's not in the proper season of Bib, then it's not a new year. All right. Still technically winter. All right. So without that said, further ado, let's go ahead and get to the lesson. All right. Focus versus distraction. All right. That's the name of the lesson. Focus versus distraction. Which one are you? All right. Y'all got to ask yourself a question. Are y'all focused or are you distracted? All right. So I'm going to define focus. I mean, before I define it, I want somebody to give me a definition of focus. Shalom, my brother Carlton. Shalom, Jemiah, sister. She always tapping in. Prince of Judah. What up? So shalom to the family online, man. Shalom to y'all. Candy Hines was good. All right. Anybody give me a definition of focus?
Paying attention.
I like that. That's beautiful. Who else? Everett. Shalom, King. How you? Go ahead, Kate.
Listening.
You said what?
Listening.
Listening, I like that. That's good. Paying attention and listening coincide. What else? Diligent. I love that. That's beautiful, kid. Hell yeah. That's a good one. All right. So focus, right? Let's go ahead and get an actual definition. Those are all good, but let's go ahead and get a definition of what it means to be focused, essentially. According to the Holy Scriptures. Let's see what it means to be focused. All right, let's get a definition. This is from Bing.com, right? It said the center of interest or activity. The center of interest or activity. I like that. Let me read down. Center of attention. It's kind of on par with Nikki, what she was saying. Let me go down. There's one particular definition I want to get. Bear with me, family. It says pay particular attention to. Pay particular attention to. I love that, right? Concentrate, right? Concentrate. These are all words synonymous with focus, right? Now, let's get the definition of distracted or distraction, right? Focus or distraction, right? Which one are you? Let's go ahead and get a distraction. Salakia. Go ahead and get distraction real quick. All right, so distraction, it says a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to. So a thing that prevents, keyword, prevents somebody from devoting their full attention to. All right. Diversion is a word that I like to see synonymous with that. So you're constantly being interrupted. There's diversions, right? And the key word with distraction means you're deactivated, right? And we know the faith without works is what? It's dead, right? If you're not active and you can't put in the works, then it's dead, right? That means the things you're doing, you're just going through the motions. You're not really bringing in productivity, all right? Through the spirit. Now, I created an acronym for the word focus, all right? For those who's online, y'all can see it. Y'all can write this down in your notes, all right? Focus. Follow one command until successful. Follow one command until successful. All right. That's an acronym I wanted to play upon the word focus. Now, that command could be commandments, but it's not limited to the commandments. It could be a task, a goal, a lesson, anything. Follow one command, task, goal, lesson until you're successful. All right. Now, researchers suggest that, look, they say most successful people can sit in a room for 12 hours and not be distracted. Y'all heard me? 12 hours. It says researchers say keyword successful. Most. They said most successful people can sit in a room for 12 hours. And I'm sure you know from the profession, your line of work, right? I'm sure you've seen the best of the best, like stay focused on their craft for hours, right?
Yeah, players and coaches do it every day.
Every day. That's just their craft. Yeah. So they said the most successful people can sit in a room for 12 hours without being distracted. Let that sizzle in your spirit. 12 hours without being distracted, right? Now, look, notice it says successful because, on the contrary, unsuccessful people are bombarded with distractions and excuses. It seems like unsuccessful people got distractions and hella excuses. No accountability. It's always somebody else's fault, never their fault. They always busy doing something, right? So look, let's go ahead and analyze some distractions, right? Raise your hand if you're married. Raise your hand if you have kids. Raise your hands if you still deal with your family in the world. Raise your hand if you still have friends in the world. Raise your hands if you work. Raise your hands if you have social media. Facebook, Twitter, IG. What's the other one? TikTok. Playhouse. Clubhouse. Whatever the hell it's called. YouTube. Y'all got all those, right? Now look. How many of y'all turn off the notifications for all those apps? Okay. All praises. Okay. Now look. What about email? Everybody got email? What about text message? You turn that off too. Okay. Now look. Those are just a list of few of distractions, right? We are bombarded with distractions. We got family. We got notifications from every damn app. We got emails, text messages, group chats. We are distracted. How are we supposed to be productive if we have all these damn distractions? Right? Give me Proverbs 4:25. We are bombarded with distractions, and we have to learn how to mitigate and reduce these distractions, man. Go ahead and give me that.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 25.
Read.
Let thine eyes look right on.
The Lord said, let your eyes be focused, as Nikki said earlier. Right? Let your eyes be focused. Right? Pinpoint accurate. Read.
And let thy eyelids look toward before thee.
Because like my brother Rata said, like I'm gonna get in my Rata bag real quick, right? Before your eyes can process what's going on, what has to happen first? Your brain has to recognize it, right? Some people call it the third eye, whatever you want to call it, right? Your spirit, right? It has to recognize what's going on before your eyelids could conceptualize what's going on. Read it from the top, huh?
Let thy eyes look right on.
Let your third eye be focused, pinpoint accurate, right? Now y'all know the acronym I use is following one command until successful. Read.
And let thy eyelids.
And then after that, your eyelids
look straight.
Look straight
before thee.
Before thee. Clear cut path, man. Right? Drop that. Give me Sirach 25 and 13. We in bombarded with so many distractions, man. How are we supposed to be successful with all these damn distractions? We got to figure something out, Israel. Right? I know y'all look on your phone down there every 5 minutes. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You think our forefathers were doing that? They didn't have them distractions.
Sometimes I'll be at work and I'll work so much and I'll notice I have to pick up my phone. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna pick up my phone like that.
Good.
You know?
That's good. That's beautiful. You occupied with something.
Right.
You're focused. You focus on the task. That's good, man. Turn off your phone because majority of people hit you up ain't talking about nothing. They ain't talking about nothing for the most part. 90% of the people ain't talking about a goddamn thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sirach 25 and 13.
Sirach chapter 25 and verse 13. Give me any plague, but the plague of the heart.
The Lord said, give me any plague, right? What is a plague? Give me another word for a plague. A disease. Give me any disease but the plague of the heart. What does that mean, kid?
That means
What's your heart?
your mind.
Your mind. So give me any disease but the what? A disease of the mind. Because that's down there. You can't even fix that. Right? Mind altering substances and things like that. You never become the same. If your mind and your brain is off, you become a reprobate essentially. That's something you can't replace. That's why the Lord said, give me any plague but the plague of the mind, man. Right? I can heal a sickness within my arteries and stuff like that, but my mind is down there irreplaceable. That's why it is. You ever heard the expression, kill the head and the body will follow? Exactly. Your central processing unit, right? I'm gonna get in my rata back. Y'all gotta understand your central processing unit, right? It's an antenna, right? It responds to the spiritual world. Some people call it the atmosphere. All right. The central processing unit is the most important feature on your body. All right. And you have to protect it by all means, because look, there's inbound and outbound exchanges that's going on right now, whether y'all know it or not. There's inbound and outbound exchanges that's going on in the spiritual realm, the invisible world. It's like they like to call it, right? It's very, very real. All right. What are you putting in your spirit and what are you allowing to go out of your spirit? It's a question y'all got to ask yourself. Inbound and outbound exchanges, what are you allowing in your spirit? What are you allowing to go out, right? Let's get an example of inbound goals. Y'all remember the lesson I did about the 1,000 precepts? All right, that would be an example of an inbound goal, right? That's an inbound goal. Now, what is the outbound to that? The outbound is I can form a lesson off them 1,000 precepts. I can rehearse them 1,000 precepts. Like my brother Calbert had the whiteboard before. I can try it on the street corners when we out there street teaching. Let me try it. I like something Calbert said the other day. Let me record myself and go back and analyze how well I'm doing so I can tweak it and perfect my craft. I'm inbounding, but now I'm actively outbounding. Give me rehearse the righteous acts. I think that's Judges 5 and 11. All right. Everything you can find in the scriptures, we have to rehearse these things. What are we allowing in our spirit? What are we giving out in our spirit? Or in the atmosphere, rather. What are we putting out in the atmosphere? What are we allowing from the atmosphere in? Very, very important. Judges 5 and 11, I believe that's rehearse the righteous act.
Sorry, what was the Proverbs?
Proverbs chapter 4:25. 4 and 25. 4 and 25. Judges 5 and 11. Let me go ahead and share my screen with the family online. I'm gonna go to Judges chapter 5, verse 11.
it now.
Yeah, Con, whatever you got.
Judges chapter 5 and verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts.
We got to rehearse the righteous acts, man. Right? So what are you putting in your spirit and what are you putting out in the atmosphere? These are things you got to ask yourself, right? I mean, honestly, what are you doing? Because look, we're bombarded with so many damn distractions. Y'all got to figure out, like, how do we mitigate this? How do we control this and get it under a handle, right? And what exactly are we doing to replace that time that's lost from social media distractions? All right. Now, look, the goal is to be like Yahweh Shai, right? That's our king. Y'all sure? Okay. All right. So look, if the goal is to be like him, give me Matthew 5 and 48. We gotta act like him, man. We gotta start putting things in place to be like him. All right. We're gonna read two scriptures. We're gonna get Matthew 5 and 48, and then we're gonna get First Peter. Read that whenever you got it.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven.
That's a prerequisite to be a follower of Christ. He wants us to be like our Heavenly Father, which is, I can't even give a word to describe him, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a superlative to use to describe the Father because it ain't nothing to really match him. But nevertheless, we got to be in that pocket. All right? Read it again.
Be ye therefore perfect.
Doesn't mean you haven't made a mistake before. It just means when you made these mistakes and you learn, you correct yourself. Be complete. Righteous man falls 7 times, but what? Rises back up, right? So look, you got to perfect this craft. You got to perfect the commandments. You got to perfect your faith. You got to perfect every aspect of the scriptures. And you cannot settle for mediocrity if you're going to follow Yahweh Shai, because he wasn't mediocre at all by any stretch of imagination. Him, neither was any of his apostles. So we got to match that level. All right, drop that. Give me First Peter. First Peter chapter 2, verse 21.
First Peter chapter 2 and verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called.
First Peter?
Yeah. You said 2 and 21?
Yeah, calm, my bad. Go ahead.
For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye shall follow his steps.
Absolutely. So he left an example on what to do. Was he perfect or was he not? Okay. The man had no guile, right? Let's read the next scripture.
Who did no sin.
He didn't sin. Read what?
Neither was guile found in his mouth.
He was blameless. So we got to start working on being blameless, right? So look, one person I like to evaluate now, there's more than one person, but one person I think did an exceptional job in terms of following Yahweh Shai was Paul, the Apostle Paul. I know he get a lot of slack, unfortunately, for brothers, but look, let's just talk about Paul. You know, prior to him knowing Hamashiach, our king, he killed Christians. He was a murderer. You know what I mean? He had executive orders to knock down and kill followers of Christ. But once he got an understanding of who Yahweh Shai was, and he knew he needed to stop kicking against the pricks, evaluate his life from that point forward. I don't know too many men close to him. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know too many men that was close to Paul in terms of the works that he did. And here's why. He was a great man. He said, I'm going to dedicate my life to Christ. That's the only person I'm married to, right? Nobody else, right? Let's go ahead and get that. 1 Corinthians. When Paul got introduced to Yahweh Shai, he showed us exactly how to serve him. 1 Corinthians 7.
The first one.
And let's read verse 6.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 6. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment.
So Paul said, look, I'm prefacing my comments. I'm letting y'all know this is not a commandment. Nevertheless, I have authority over the church. Yahweh is giving me some lead room and some wiggle room to speak as an elder with wisdom. So I'm going to give you wisdom that I've acquired over my time, right? Watch this.
For I would that all men were even as myself, but every man have his proper gift of God. One after this manner, and another after that. I say, therefore, to unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I.
Because Paul was a eunuch. He didn't have sex, right? He chose not to have sex. He said, I'm going to forego marriage. And look, as beautiful as marriage is, it's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful thing. That's why the Lord said marriage is honorable in the bedroom undefiled. But nevertheless, Paul, that's why he said, I'm speaking this by permission, not by commandment. Look, I would rather y'all be like myself. Because that comes with a lot of work. I mean, let's keep it a buck, right? Right, y'all, how hard is marriage? It's a difficult thing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's difficult. 10 years, 11 years? How long y'all been together? About 11 years? Yeah, 11 years. This 2021. Yeah, 11 years. Hey, y'all be lying if y'all said it was all peaches and cream in them 11 years. Hell no, right? Yeah. So look, this is what Paul is saying. He was like, look, he like, look, check this out. Yeah. Paul like, check this out, man. He like, look, save yourself the headaches and be like me, right? But watch this though. He continues. Read verse 9.
But if they cannot contain, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn.
He said, look, if you feeling a little, you know what I mean? You need to go ahead and get that off. Go ahead and get you a beautiful wife, man. It's okay. I understand the children of Israel. I know our women are gorgeous. Go ahead. But he's saying, look, I would rather you be like me. You know what I'm saying? Because look, the more and less distractions you have in your life, the better chance you have at the kingdom, man. Let me get that, Mr. Luke 17:21. We're gonna come back to this. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom of God is within who? Man, that's what he's trying to articulate. He's like, look, man, I'm responsible for me, and I'm gonna be the reason why I get to the kingdom, and I'm not gonna let nobody distract me, including my wife. So I'm gonna forego that and get that in the kingdom. That's how Paul was thinking. Read that.
Luke chapter 17 and verse 21. Neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
Man, you got to put in that work, man. That's why he said kingdom will come by observation. You got to put in that work. And Paul was a personification in that work, man. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 7. Let's drop down to verse 28.
Verse 28. But if thy marry, thy has not sinned.
Because marriage is honorable and the bedroom is undefiled. It's a beautiful thing. It's a covenant. It's a bond. It's one of the first commandments the Heavenly Father gave us. He said, be fruitful and multiply. Marry your beautiful wife, man, and have as many babies as you want with her, right? But watch this.
And if a virgin marry, she have not
It's
sinned.
not a sin to have sex with your wife, right? Watch this.
Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you.
Read that again.
Such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare
I'm
you.
sparing you. I'm gonna let you know what comes with this marriage. Watch this.
But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they have none.
It should be like that, but it's not. I'm gonna keep it above. We all can do better. Akim, raise your hand if you feel like we can do better. What Most High is saying right here is you should feel like you single. You know what I'm saying? You should feel like you single. This is what Paul is saying. Even though you married, you should feel like you don't have a wife, because that's how hard you're going for the Lord. You should feel like, damn, she should feel like, damn, I don't even got a husband. Low key. He here and he not. Because who we married to first?
Nice.
So she comes second, regardless. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. But watch this though, because Paul's smart. Watch this. Drop down to verse 32.
Verse 32. But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cared for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, unmarried man is going to do what's pleasing to the Lord, man. He don't have nothing else distracting him. He don't have a family. He don't have a wife. He don't have to go out. He don't got to celebrate birthdays. He don't got to do none of that. All he got to do is focus on the works. Right? Watch this.
But he that is married cared for the things that are.
But a married man care for the things of the world. And what?
Of the world, how he may please his wife.
And it's true. You got to please your wife. It just that's the attachment that comes with that. And this is what he's saying. Like, look, just know when you marry, you're not going to be on the level. I'm about to smoke y'all niggas, man. Y'all ain't finna be on the level with me. If you get married, you about to lose. Paul telling you that right there. He's telling the church of Corinth, look, if you're gonna be married, you're gonna lose to me because I'm gonna put in way more work than you because you're gonna be too busy trying to take your wife out. You're gonna be too busy trying to get matching outfits when I'm out here getting this work in, man. I'm traveling the Mediterranean while you out here picking matching outfits and trying to take pictures. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Read.
There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. An unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, and she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband.
And naturally, a woman wants to please her husband. She's gonna do everything to please her husband, which is okay because in her husband she should see Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother lesson, but she should see Yahweh Shai. Let's keep it reading.
And this I speak for my own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you.
He said, look, I'm not trying to put y'all in a trap. I'm not trying to put y'all in a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to give y'all a little bit of advice in the game as an elder. Watch this.
But for that which is comely, and that ye may attend unto the Lord without distraction.
Without what?
Without distraction.
He said, look, I said all of this just to say, look, if you be like me, you're going to be able to attend to the Lord without distractions. Even though there's a lot of benefits of being married. Beautiful children, legacy, family, beautiful wife, great times. But nevertheless, Paul's saying, look, check this out. I'm going to get all that in the kingdom times 10. And I'm going to solidify my spot in the kingdom. While y'all playing, I'm about to run circles around y'all. That's why he said, man, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they apostles? So am I. Way more works. In stripes, way more times. In perils, way more times. In shipwrecks, way more times. He was in his bag because he like, look, bro, I'm dedicating my life to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai without distractions, right? So this is why I think Paul is one of the better people in terms of how we should serve the Lord, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's the only one. You know, David is a great example. I mean, I think David just an awesome character in the scriptures. But nevertheless, I think Paul is somebody who, if you really understand what he did and how he dedicated his life to Yahweh Shai, I think it would be very important for you to study the things that he did and try to implement some of the strategies that he did in your life, right? So let's drop that. Let's get Sirach 39 and 1. He said, I'm serving the Lord without distractions, man. Sirach chapter 39. You can read verse 1 from the top.
Sirach chapter 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
Read that again from the top. I'm sorry, I'm over here messing up, trying to get to Sirach. Damn, man. I need my mouse. My bad. My mouse, man. Go ahead. My bad.
Sirach chapter 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind of the law of the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies.
How many of us can really raise our hands and say we solid on our history? How many of us can say we solid on the prophecies? I mean, we got some work to do then, right? Read that again from the top.
But he that given his mind,
right? He's occupying his mind to what?
To the law of the Most High.
The laws of Moses, read.
And is occupied in the meditation thereof.
Meditation on the scriptures, right? Don't necessarily got to be in the scriptures all the time, but you meditate them, they in the forefront of your mind. But watch this.
Will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
Gonna know their history, read.
And be occupied in the prophecies.
Watching and looking out for prophecies is unraveling daily. This is what a righteous man would do. A focused man, right? Following one, command until successful. This is what a focused person would do. So look, I want to give y'all some useful tips on how to stay focused. All right, I'm gonna give y'all some useful tips that I use. I notice why y'all do a lot of them already, but this is something that I do. First and foremost, if you focus on something, turn your phone on airplane mode. Turn your phone on airplane mode. Airplane mode is something y'all should start doing. Or if that don't work, you need to use your internet. Do not disturb. All right, do not disturb. I have a functionality on my phone where I'm not allowing nobody to disturb me. Um, the only way you can get a call in is if you call 3 times within a 5 minute period. That means to me that signals that it's an emergency. Outside of that, you're not getting in. I'm not gonna see your calls. I'm not gonna see your text until later. You know. Sorry. Anybody that tries, sorry. But look, this is just what it is. I gotta be focused. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be focused on the craft. I gotta be focused on your Howard, man. This come first. All right. Clutter on your phones.
Yeah.
Hey, look, close all the damn windows on your phone. Man. If you gotta open windows, close all the windows on your phone. I'm telling you, this will work miracles for y'all. Close all the windows, close all the different windows on the Internet Explorer, and focus on whatever it is you focus on. All right, that's another thing. And how about just turning the phone off? Anybody ever tried that? Right. I mean, it's times of the day. Look, this is what I do. I check my notifications in the morning because I know everybody up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. like me. So I'm gonna check my BOW emails. All praises for Rate. So we back and forth with that. I don't gotta do that all the time. Rate can handle that. I'm gonna check all my notifications, my group me chat with my brothers. And then at night, other than that, I'm not checking on notifications. It's a distraction. I got businesses to run. I got money to make. I got camps to run. I got lessons to prepare. I don't have time to be looking at every goddamn notification every 10 minutes, email, text message, group me chat, this, that. I don't have time for all that, right? So I would suggest to you guys, whatever works for y'all. For me, I turn off my notifications from 9 a.m. to about 7 p.m. I'm getting about a 10-hour shift going hard. After that, you know what I mean? When I'm about to lay it down with my wife, I'll check my notifications. And I'll check them when I wake up in the morning. That's about it. Outside of that, I don't want to check my notifications. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, this can become addictive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I down there wanted to delete my Facebook. I'm probably gonna have to holler at. I'm down there thinking about deleting my Facebook because it's like it ain't nothing but folly on that damn thing, man. It ain't really too much benefit on Facebook. To be honest with you, it's down there. Facebook to me is like Clubhouse. Like I heard conversations in Clubhouse, I was like, oh my god, this shit have raised my blood pressure, man. Listen to this, like this is crazy. So I try my best to, mitigate these distractions to be a better person. You know what I mean? Overall, be a better father, be a better discipline, better husband. Go ahead, out. You had a question?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I started implementing that when it comes to the notifications because they say the fact that you're able to turn off your notifications, now you got control of when and what time you're gonna look at those notifications. So if you wanted to go on a social media network and you turned off your notification for Facebook, you're like, okay, I'm purposely going on there for a specific notification. Then you got control of your time. But then what I noticed for me, which that's how the social engineers created the social media accounts, is when you get a notification, automatically your brain is like, I got
and it's hard for you not to check.
Yeah. So that's strong.
It's an addiction, and that's their goal. It's crazy. If you hear Mark Zuckerberg, the creator of Facebook, and Sean Parker, I think he created what is it called? Damn, what is it called? Spotify. They said this is like back in 2006, 2007. They been on it. They was like, we will have control over everything you guys do. We're gonna control your thoughts. Just give us time. Mm-hmm. That's how confident they was. This is 2006. You fast forward to 2021. I mean, did they capitalize on what they said? They did. That is the goal of social media. You and gave me all the data. Nikki, you told me what you like. You show me all your friends. You show me you travel. I know all your friends from high school. I know what high school you went to. I know what hood you grew up in. I know all your family. I know what you like. So my goal is to put, when you on there, you might think you want to be on there for 3 minutes, but I'm going to make sure you be on there for 30 minutes because I'm going to put something that I know for sure you like. How do I know? Because you gave me all the data. Go ahead.
This had to be like 15 plus years ago. I was riding a plane and I was in a business class and I was sitting next to these tech guys, right?
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know, I don't know what company, they could have been Microsoft, it could have been Apple or whatever. So I started eavesdropping on their conversation. And they were talking about how within their company, they were going to increase AI.
Artificial intelligence, right?
Yeah. And at the time, it sounded crazy, but now we're in 2021. It all makes sense. But at the time, you got to realize this is 15 plus years ago. It might have been 20 years ago. I was in my early 20s. I was young. But anyway, the guy said, I want to get our phones to the point where what this person is thinking pops up on the phone.
No, that's what they're doing. That's the goal of that's the goal of social media. I'm trying to predict your next thought.
Just like on
Yeah.
YouTube.
And that was his exact words, what you just said.
Yeah.
He said, we are going to predict their thoughts.
Yeah.
And they had a third partner, and he was saying, there's no way you can do that. And then the other guy was like, well, yes, it is, because everything that they put on these phones, we're going to collect that data to the point where we know their preference on everything, to the point where their very next thought pops up on the phone. And we're here today.
That's crazy. I alluded to my brother Rod to a point. This is why I gotta be careful on. That's why YouTube. I have a new YouTube. I don't have my regular YouTube no more. I have a new YouTube, and because I had to get rid of all because they really would distract me. I might go in there and try to check my BOW, but end up watching a documentary because they know I'm gonna watch it. They know like 9 times out of 10 he gonna click on it.
When I used to not get on Facebook, but every time like every 2 weeks it still send me text messages like, oh, you got messages on Facebook, but I'm not even on it anymore.
Right.
Like it's like they want you to get on. Right. Like hello.
Or now, when you talk about something, YouTube will put a recommended video what you talked about. That happened to y'all? That like when you talk about something, like then you look on your YouTube, like I was just talking.
Yeah, remember how me and you was talking about the Superior Man, and then did all that stuff kept came up? Yeah, that's how it works.
And you can go on like anybody's, like you can go on somebody's Instagram, right? That's a sneakerhead. Go on their explore page. It's nothing but sneaker stuff.
All that stuff. Yeah. So
and everything is linked too. It's like you'll go on Instagram and look up something, and then you'll go on your Facebook, and then what you looked up on your Instagram, it'll be there. It'll be an advertisement or Amazon.
Exactly.
Oh, this stuff on Amazon.
I mean, because we are volunteering this information. We don't have no privacy. We have given away our privacy. We've given away that's why I'm like, damn, I low key need to. It might be a good thing me and you got suspended, Cal, from Facebook, man. I might fast from 40 days and 40 nights from that damn thing, man. I'm thinking about it seriously because it's no benefit to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, I only wanted to post BOW videos anyway. Give me verse 21 and 5. Huh?
The tips.
Oh yeah, the tips. Yeah. So the tips were turn off your phone, right? Airplane mode. Set your do not disturb, right? Do not disturb for a period of time. Mine is like 9 a.m. to about 7 p.m. Don't disturb me unless it's a serious thing. Take out all the clutter in your phone. Delete all the apps. Clean your apps. Clean your windows. That's about it. That's about it. That's all I have right there. If y'all have any more, y'all can give me some pointers and tips. Those are the ones I use.
I would just say like physical things like a clean house. Don't use. It helps your mind. It puts you in a better mind state to stay focused. You know what I mean? Like you can be in a whole bunch of clutter and not want to do nothing because you're irritated. But your house clean and window open and you got your incense and your candles and you sit back read a book for hours.
Right. We transition into that next. Look, the next thing, this is a question. How to create an environment with no distraction. All right, that's what we're going into. We want to create an environment where there's no distraction. All right. Proverbs 21 and 5.
Proverbs chapter 21 verse 5. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness.
So the thoughts of the diligent. What is diligent, Kia? What is diligent?
To be diligent is something you're paying attention.
Focus, right? So the thoughts of the focus. You're paying very close, detailed attention to, right? Tends to be plentiful. That means it's profitable. I'm only gonna pay attention to things that's profitable. If it's not going to be beneficial to BOW, it's not going to be beneficial to my family, if it's not going to be beneficial to my wife, I'm not going to give it time. Right? And sometimes y'all got to do that, man. You got to be selfish in a good way, in a righteous way. Right? Selfish in a righteous way. Do things. Look, read it again.
The thoughts of the diligent.
The thoughts of somebody that's focused, that's pinpoint accurate, tunnel vision, read.
Tend only to plenteousness.
Tend only to things that's profitable, that's beneficial to their life. But watch this.
But of everyone that is hasty.
But everyone that is hasty going into somebody that's procrastinate, that wastes a lot of damn time, is distracted, read.
Only to one.
He's going to always be in the red. He's going to always be behind because you distracted. You can't focus. You got 100 things coming your way. You know what I'm saying? The diligent don't do that. All successful men, they got majority of them, they're very, very focused on their craft. Am I lying? You're around a lot of them. They've been doing this regimen since when? Maybe 6, 7?
7 years old.
6, 7 years old? This didn't come overnight.
Even coaches, like, I mean, we get into the office at 6:30 every morning.
Come on. And it don't lead to about 6:30, right? 12-hour shifts minimum. How many people can say they're doing that in their craft? If you're an apostle, I know we can't necessarily do that every day because of the woes of the world, but when you do lock in, do you lock in like that?
And if you did,
you'll be cold. There's no reason why you shouldn't be cold if you're locking in like that. You applying that athlete-like mentality to the scriptures, right? So this is what our Heavenly Father wants us to do to get to that next level. You know what I mean? We're trying to model Yahweh Shai. That's why he had to fast for 40 days and 40 nights to obtain that level of sensationality and brilliance. Because he had to deny the flesh. And me and Ratchet, we fast for 7 days and 7 nights. It's a challenging thing. I suggest anybody that can't fast 7 days and 7 nights, you'll see how challenging it is. And you'll see how weak this damn flesh is. And how it ain't nothing. Right? You want to now imagine 40 days and 40 nights. That's why Yahweh Shai was this ish. He's 40 days and 40 nights. And what happened? Immediately he got tested. Immediately Satan came to test him. He quoted what? The scriptures, man. You can't test a man that just been fasting for 40 days. He in the spirit. He left Earth. He ain't here. Right. You know what I'm saying? He not in the physical. He in the spiritual, man. That's all spiritual. But nevertheless, we can attain that level of greatness if we put in the work. See, y'all ain't understanding. This take work. None of this is gonna be given to us, right? Drop that. Give me Proverbs 24. Proverbs 24. And let's read 27. So, are you focused or are you distracted? Which one are you? Which one are you? Proverbs 24 and 27. Salaki, my bad.
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 27. Prepare thy work without. What? Prepare thy work without.
What's another word for prepare?
Get ready.
Get ready. Write things down. How many of y'all write things down? You write your day down?
I have to.
Gotta write your day down, man. I don't know how the hell people can think and remember stuff. Write it down, man. The Lord tell us that. Hold your finger on this. We're gonna get back to this. Give me Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2. The Lord tell us to do this, man. That's why I love when my boy Cal y'all had that he had a vision board. Bro, that's scriptural. Watch this. 2 and 2.
Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision.
What?
Write the vision.
What?
Write the vision.
Go get you a vision board. Write it down. What?
And make it plain.
And make it simple. Make it simple so you can focus. Don't have the clutter. Don't have too much on there. Make it pinpoint, accurate, and simple. That what?
Upon tables that he may run that readeth it.
Man, he can read it and be like, oh, let me go ahead and replicate this. This is light. You know what I'm saying? Don't be complicating things, man. Sometimes this will be so complicated for no reason, man. Especially you super Hebrews. It ain't that complex. All right. It's really simple. They don't want to deal with these type of scriptures. All right. Super Hebrews don't want to deal with these type of scriptures because it take work. The niggas don't want to put in work. Right? Proverbs 24 and 27.
In verse 27, prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thy house.
So the Lord said, plan it out, make it make sense, and then build your house, build your heaven. Right? The kingdom of heaven is what? Go ahead and do that. Right? But you can't be. How you gonna have a destination you don't even know how to get there? This is why in finance, right? Before you go get a loan, they say, "Let me see your business plan. Let me see what you're talking about." You can't just come into Bank of America and say, "Hey, yeah, give me a $10,000 loan. Let me see what you're talking about." Yeah, they're gonna check. Let me see what you're talking about. Let me see. Okay, if we give you this money, how we gonna make our money back? Because we a business too. Right? A lot of people, Israel be bugged out, man. They just think things are gonna happen out of the sky. Like, nah, you got to put in the work. Yahweh Shai had to work, we gotta work. All right. Drop that. Give me loot. Give me loot. Give me loot. So we talking about being focused, y'all. Then we're gonna get on distractions, man, because those are things that's hindering Israel right now. I feel like we all could be up if we was more focused. Luke 14. Let's get 28.
Luke chapter 14 and verse 28. For which of you intend to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, rather he hath sufficient to finish it.
So how many of us started something and couldn't finish it? I've done that too. We all have done that. Yahweh Shai said, man, look, you got to start evaluating the cost, man. Like, y'all got to understand, man, we got Yahweh spirit in us, man. Right? We gods, but we think like men. That's why we die like men. If we thought like gods, we can figure everything out, man. Gods are very detailed. Look at the details of our Heavenly Father. Just look at his creations. Why the hell we can't put in that level of detail to our craft? Distractions. With things that's not even important. Because when you take them off, look, they're not important. You ain't going to miss them. Trust me. You don't miss them. When you cut it, cut it out. You ain't going to miss it, right? 29.
Lest happily, after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so your haters are going to be looking like, oh, look at him. He had that house he was trying to build. Look at him. He in foreclosed. He in foreclosed on the house. He was talking all this stuff. He ain't even finished, man. Right, read.
Saying this man began to build and was not able to finish.
He did all that talking, right? He came around us talking about he gonna be rich, right? He gonna have all this money, but he couldn't finish, right? He signed a check that his mouth couldn't cash, right? Read.
Or what king going to make war against?
That's it on that. All right, so look, we got to make sure that we're evaluating the cost, man, and how you do that by preparing, right? Let's read the verse 26. I'm gonna read verse 26.
On the same chapter.
Come on.
Verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father.
So now this hate word just means love less in the Greek. All right. You're not saying hate your father and mother. It's just mean love less, right? Love less your father, right?
And mother, and wife, and children, and brethren.
These are all distractions, right?
And sisters. Yeah. And his own life
and
also.
Your own life and whatever the hell you got going on, read.
He cannot be my disciple.
How should I say you ain't worthy of me, man? That's deep. All right. So look, this is why Paul was giving that wisdom to the church of Corinth. He was telling them, like, look, those things are beautiful, but they're going to distract you from what's important. All right. What's important is the kingdom. Let's lock in on the kingdom. How many of us can confidently say we got the kingdom? I know I can't. I don't know if Yahweh gonna forgive me for some of the stuff I did. I pray he do. But nevertheless, I'm gonna work my ass off to make sure that I am forgiven and say, Lord, I gave you everything I had. Right? That's need to be the mentality. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times Israel makes excuses and we have a lot of distractions for no reason. And they're not profitable. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, they're just not profitable. It might soothe the flesh for a little bit. But what about your spirit? That's why I say inbound, outbound. What are you putting in your spirit, right? So that's it on the focus aspect, all right? Focus aspect. All right, I gave y'all some useful tips. Let's get to distraction, all right? So what was the definition of distraction? Let's go back. It says a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to. All right, a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to. So we already know the biggest distraction of them all is digital distraction, right? I think, I mean, we all agree digital distractions is the top one, right? I'm sure it is. All right. Now, how do we mitigate this? Give me Ciroc 42 and 18. Yeah, 42 and 18. Digital distractions, right? We know Esau and his devices are distractions, man. Fuck yeah, man. Why is it doing that? 42, Salaki, 18. All right.
Sirach chapter 42 and verse 18. He seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world. He declareth the things that are past, and for to come, and revealeth the steps of the hidden things.
He revealed the steps of the hidden things to the former prophets, sometimes in documentaries, sometimes in movies. The Lord give us what's going to go on in many different ways. You just got to pay attention. But nevertheless, right, he said, you got to be careful of these wicked devices. One of the wickedest devices ever created was the television. And, you know, the progression from that is social media. You know what I'm saying? This is a very evil device. Now, look, there's a given a curse because a lot of us is in the truth because of this. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you don't want to overindulge in this. This thing can become very toxic. Clubhouse is a very good example of that. I've never seen a good discussion on there. I ain't gonna hold you. It's just a chat room with a lot of Hebrews talking crazy with no filter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least from my experience, I'm not sure. I'm sure they've had productive conversations.
No.
Just hearing, we can just hear each other.
I mean, it's
A little audio chat, yeah. Nevertheless, right? We got these we got these wicked devices. Now I wanna read this article. It's called Mind Control Through Airwaves. It's the Rotabag. Let me get my Rotabag one time. It says mind control through airwaves, all right? Like our brain is an antenna, all right? So watch this. It says, we like to think that we have free will and that the decisions we make and the thoughts that we have are our own. Our sense of identity, free choice, and individuality are part of what makes us unique and are an integral part of the human experience. Yet, are we also really as independent and possess of free will as we think? The thought that we could be under the influence of outside forces and subject to manipulation by mind control against our will is terrifying, is a terrifying prospect that has been explored extensively in scientific fiction. But what if it's not merely fiction? What if we are being directly shaped and programmed by nefarious parties through the television we watch and the music we listen to? According to some, this is exactly what is happening and has been happening for decades, right? Um, so this is just another fancy word for social engineering, essentially. Like I said, not to go too deep, but Esau has mastered the art of communicating through fiber optics, communicating through the invisible world, essentially, where I can have an antenna, this machine respond to that machine over there. You know what I'm saying? And there's a line of communication being exchanged, whether we can see it or not. Now, look, in that same premise, that happens with our, right, our temple, right? Things are being exchanged, input and output. So what are you allowing into your spirit and what are you bringing out and putting out into the atmosphere? Because those same concepts do work. The invisible world is very, very real. I know a lot of people might get spooked out, but it's the truth. I know a lot of Hebrews don't want to deal with it, but it is what it is, right? Now, one thing, goes in aspects of social engineering. I did want to get you. I talked to my wife the other day about this. I want to get y'all opinions, sisters. I think Esau did a phenomenal job with putting a black eye on polygamy. Polygamy. We know our nation is built off that, right? I've seen sisters in the truth with Israel in their name still going against it and saying it's wicked. Makes no sense. But I think it's the social engineering. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's the Western world.
It's the Western world.
Definitely Western. You know, like I'm sure, a lot of people that, that's not in America are okay with it.
Very, very cool with it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the social engineering, because it's an interesting discussion. Just half and half. You have sisters is cool with it, but you see a lot of sisters not cool with it, and it's I believe it's the social engineering of Esau. That stronghold is so strong on our people. It's like you can't say you're an Israelite. You can't say you're an Israelite and be against polygyny. It don't make sense. Our forefather had 4 wives. It don't make sense. Like, take Israel out your name, change your name. I don't know what you need to call yourself, a little Christian or something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not following the ways of our forefathers. All right. But nevertheless, this social engineering is very, very persuasive and strong. Right. Give me wisdom, Solomon 11 and 15. This is what this technology that I'm about to read is designed to do, though. They said it's designed to control the thoughts and the mindset of human reality and what they thoughts and perceive, and whatever they perceive the world to be is based on this. This technology is heavily influencing that, which I do for a certain degree think is real, man. Like that's why I feel like the Heavenly Father has to have his hand on you, man. If he ain't got his hand on you, you're gonna be subjugated to this. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11, verse 15. But for the foolish devices of their wickedness, wherewith being deceived, they worship serpents, void of wisdom.
Read that one again from the top, Salaki.
But for foolish devices of their wickedness.
Foolish devices. What are they foolish devices, y'all?
Airways.
Any type of marketing, right? She said, "Let me just broaden it up to just marketing, right? All in marketing, right? These foolish devices that they use, right? Read.
Wherewith being deceived, they worship serpents."
They worship these damn serpents, man. Our people worship serpents, devils, whether we know it or not. If you're going against any of the commandments of Yahweh, you are worshiping a serpent, and you are void of reasoning. Anytime I measure up what Yahweh say, and anything else outside of that needs to be void. But if you go against that, like multiple wives, you avoid the reasoning because you essentially said somebody else know more than God. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else know more than Yahweh. Do you know how retarded you sound? Maybe you don't. All right, but you got to really check yourself and understand. Like, if Yahweh says good is good, it ain't nothing else to talk about. It's perfect. All right, but a lot of our people will go bunk up against the scriptures. Am I lying, Roger? I've seen it, and I'd be dumbfounded. I confounded. I'm like, so what are you saying? Like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. I mean, I understand you might. I get it. I get the whole fleshly aspect. You don't want to share your man and all that. But what are you trying to say?
That's what it is.
Yeah, I get it. But what are you saying though? Because Yahweh said it's cool. So now what? So now we're gonna speak against Yahweh?
I mean, the world says it's cool. We just can't marry.
Yeah, the world says it's cool. Honestly, yeah, the world says it's cool because all of the damn. Monica Lewinsky and all that, right? They all had their little side pieces. You just can't legally marry them.
You did. It's just something about when you want to make it right that they fight against.
They fight against it, yeah.
In the world, I would say.
In the world, yeah. But the world does it all the time.
Stick around and do it.
Yeah.
But when you want to do it right, it's bad.
It's bad, right? You don't want to do it.
Some do it real. Like, look at what's his name? The comedian dude that got the 2 wives.
But see,
D-Ray or everybody that got money got 2 wives. That's just a fact.
They, with the business.
It's just anybody that got them. It's what it is. It's the money.
Yeah, their wives like.
It's the money, cause you got Edomites that got a business wife, got a home wife.
They got agreements too.
Yeah, they got agreements. So it's just the world, in their odd way of not wanting to look at it through the commandments eyes,
Kind of the Most High. Give me Ephesians 6 and 12. Let me read a little bit more of this article. We're almost done, friends. It's funny, man. It's funny how social engineering can get in the way of a lot of things, man. That's why we got to make sure that we got to protect our children and make sure we're not being distracted with this madness. Ephesians 6 and 12. Let me read a little bit more of this article. I found some interesting things in this article. It says there's a supposed technology that can apparently be used to reach out and subliminally influence us over the airways is called the silent sound spectrum, sometimes called simply S-Squad, which was developed and patented. Yes, it is patented by a Dr. Oliver Lowry of Norcross, Georgia, who called it the silent subliminal presentation system, often known as the sound of silence. You ever heard of silent war? Huh?
I heard that term.
You heard that term, right? Well, guess what it is? It's an aspect of war in a silent manner. Systemic racism would be one example, right? That's an example of a silent war.
Okay.
Chemical warfare.
Yeah.
That's another example
Yeah.
of silent war. Yeah, biological warfare. That's another example of silent war. I'm doing things to destroy you strategically in a silent manner, where it's not overt, as opposed to being on the ground in guerrilla warfare. So this is an aspect of silent wars. I'm trying to control your brain. Give me Ephesians 6 and 12, man.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
I remember, I heard this scripture in the church. It resonated in my mind when I heard Rata bring out a lesson, long time entry nation. We are really dealing with a Gregor that's bigger than us, man. I don't think y'all understand. We are wrestling with principalities, man, in darkness of this world who control the airwaves and the frame of human thought and human society and what they say and what they believe. We are really fighting against a demon that we can't see, but it's very apparent. I get an example, like the fact that this generation is coming up, Lord bless them. They have to be subjugated to Michaela age. They're gonna have to be subjugated to a whole lot of homosexuality and a whole lot of transgenderism, which is gonna be completely normal. And you can't speak against it. We are dealing with a high level of spiritual wickedness to the point where children her age are not gonna even think it's wrong. They're not gonna even think it's wrong. It's so normal to them. Now to us, we know we frowned upon that. We got a little bit of we frown upon that. Her generation is completely normal. It's not even something they frown upon. It's like, how dare you speak against them and their freedom? They should be able to choose whatever they want, right? Little kids, they got the gay BCs. Are they teaching that in your school? You heard about the gay BCs? The gay BCs, you never heard? Okay, yeah, they got gay BCs though. I know that.
Gay BCs?
Gay BCs. Gay ABCs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the alphabet is centered around something gay. Yeah, we are dealing and lesbians.
B is for bisexual.
What?
Yeah, it's a video. I seen it yesterday.
Yeah.
They teach her feminist stuff in her class.
They teaching their feminist stuff, right? They already trying to prepare her.
That's on her teacher head about it too.
All praises, man. You got to get on that.
Yeah, that feminist stuff is heavy.
It's real heavy.
And they target black women.
Women can't be presidents, but you notice only men was presidents.
How about this? I just seen something that was interesting. And this is just this goes into aspects of that social engineering. I'm gonna go to this real quick. Let me segue a little bit. Let me deviate. Y'all familiar with the company Goldman Sachs?
Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs. Let me show y'all something. Goldman Sachs just gave $10 billion to African American women. Why y'all think they did that?
You said they gave it to African American.
Only African American.